It's now the 19th of June in the year 1871. And we got ourselves the second match of this doubleheader between the Chicago White Stockings and the Philadelphia Athletics. It is going to be game two. Chicago's scratching out a 3-2 win. In the last game, they've taken a commanding lead in the National League. And Philadelphia's fell far behind from Boston, who now has a pretty commanding lead in the American League as well. So, second game of these for these two. Let's go over your starting lineup, starting with the visiting Chicago White Stockings. Leading off is George Bechtel. He is batting 178. He's got 6 RBIs so far this season. Bill Kelly is the second batter. The center fielder batting 274, 4 RBIs so far this season. Then it's Levy Mayerly, who's batting 293 from third base. 1 home run, 5 RBIs. Gad Stiers, his home run in the first inning in the previous game gives him 2-1 this season. And he's got 8 RBIs, batting 375, does the right fielder. Number 5 is Martin King, the catcher. He is batting 244 with 4 RBIs. In the 6th spot is first baseman Everett Mills. He's batting 250. He's got 3 RBIs this season. Charlie Hodes is the shortstop in the 7th spot, batting 184, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Sam Jackson is the second baseman. He's batting 179 with 1 RBI so far this season, and then it's the hottest batter on the entire team in the 9th spot. Pitcher Cherokee Fisher batting 463 with 7 RBIs so far this season. On the Philadelphia side, John Hadfield will lead it off. He's batting 316 with 5 RBIs so far this season. Is the left fielder. Second is catcher Scott Hastings. He's batting 294, 4 RBIs so far this season. Tom York, the center fielder, bats third. He's batting 268, 4 RBIs this season. Fourth is Ed Pinkham, the third baseman. He is batting 352, 10 RBIs so far this season. Dickie Pierce is the shortstop. He's batting fifth. He's batting 367, 8 RBIs so far this season. Dick Higgham is the 6th spot hitter. He's the second baseman. He's batting 364 with an American League leading 15 RBIs so far this season. Charlie Bierman is the 7th spot hitter. He is batting 233. He's got 5 RBIs so far this season. The first baseman. Right fielder Neely Phelps will bat 8th. He's batting 298. He's got 8 RBIs so far this season. And then pitcher Bobby Matthews rounds out the order, batting 298 with 3 RBIs so far this season. Cherokee Fisher is again on the mound for Chicago. He's 2-0 versus Philadelphia with 1.5 ERA in those two matchups. This season he is 7-3 in 10 starts, 1.02 ERA, the best ERA in baseball right now. He's also got a 1.05 whip as well. Bobby Matthews will retake the mound for Philadelphia. 2 straight losses for him, looking to turn it around. He is 6-4 in 12 starts with a 2.63 ERA. He's got a 1.24 whip as well. He is 0-2 versus versus Chicago with a 2.12 ERA. It is a 2:05 first pitch start, 790 at attendance. More rain during this game, but it's a little bit warmer. It's 75 degrees for those of you that use Celsius. That is about 24. Yeah, that's 24 degrees. Wind is blowing it from right to left today at 9 miles an hour. From the Jefferson Street grounds in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, it's time for another game of out-of-the-park baseball here in 1871. And we are ready for this first pitch as George Bechtel settles in. Our third game of the day here on the Twitch. And our final one. Here's the first pitch. That is going to be off the plate away. 1-0. We are underway. The 1-0 pitch. That's a called strike. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Grounded to the backstop. It's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. High, ball 2. It'll be 2-2 now. A 2-2 pitch. That is popped up into right field, but it's drifting foul. It'll land foul, and it will remain 2-2. The 2-2. Fouled, and we go again. The even count pitch. Below the knees, 3-2. The payoff pitch. That's popped. That's lined right back at the pitcher for the first out. Right. I'm actually caught up on all the people that have come in that I want to shout out. So I'm going to look through the lurk list and see if there's anybody that no, everybody's been shouted out. That's crazy. Oh, you know who I need to shout out who is in the lurk list? I don't think I wrote them down. Let's shout them out anyway. Pixelated Suits. He's an absolutely fantastic streamer. He does stuff like Fallout 76, Rematch, Football Manager, Oblivion Remake, all sorts of stuff. Give him a follow if you haven't already. Pixelated Suits is our sponsor for this opening inning here tonight. By the way, chat, I brought out the champagne. We got the Christmas mug and the champagne for New Year's. Cheers. Happy New Year's, everybody. That'll line the throat when you're commentating. For my reenactment hobby, when I got it completed, I'm able to wear it. I'll post a photo. That sounds great. What is it that you do that you reenact? This is going to bring up Bill Kelly, center fielder, first pitch. And he's going to take down on the outside part of the plate for a strike. It's 0-1. Oh, it's a Renaissance medieval thing. Gotcha. Okay. Living history. Very cool. Here's the 0-1. Off the plate away. It's 1-1. A reminder of the schedule, by the way. Tomorrow is Football Manager all day. We're finishing season 11 tomorrow, I think. I think I have about 7 games left in the league, maybe 8. I'm out of the cups. I'm all out of the cups. So it's just the league that's left. So we're going to try and finish the league tomorrow, and then the stream will literally end the moment we finish the league. Okay, and then on Saturday, I'm not planning to go live until 2:30 with the start of season 12. If I am not through the off season before, like if I'm not through the off season by 2:30 tomorrow, then tomorrow's stream is just going to be probably Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation. And then we'll come back on Sunday with, I think Sunday's Out of the Park. 4 games of it. Let me look at my schedule real quick. Where the hell did I put it? What time did I put it on? Here we go. Yeah, Sunday's Out of the Park. So we'll come back with Football Manager on January the 7th, Wednesday, January the 6th, if I can't come back with it on Saturday. So that's where it's out. So it's end of season 11 tomorrow, and then we're going to start season 12 Saturday. If I can't get done the preseason in time, then I'll stream something chill and small that we don't need to focus a lot on, like Dead or Alive Extreme. And then Out of the Park quadruple header on Sunday. We're doing 4 games Sunday. And then Monday is Rise of Nations and Action Time in Tuesday on the 6th. And then F1 into Football Manager on the 7th. Out of the Park on the 8th. Dead or Alive on the 9th. And then no stream the 10th. And we're back with definitely Season 12. A long stream of Season 12 on the 11th. So that's the intention right now. I gotta upload shit though. Like I am gonna probably Sunday morning. I'm just gonna upload and schedule things because I am down to 376 gigs free on this PC, and I'm recording a game tonight, and I'm recording 4 on Sunday, and they're all the baseball games are about 25, 30 gigs each. So that's gonna take up a lot of space. I gotta get space clear. So Expect the YouTube to get blasted over the next 2 weeks with some stuff. If you haven't followed the YouTube, I can guarantee you'll be cheering for the lads on Sunday. Who you guys got? Wolves? If you haven't, or Forest, right? Forest, isn't it? Spurs. Okay, gotcha. If you guys haven't followed the YouTube, check it out. I am behind on the Out of the Park uploads, but Unreal Tournament is up to date. Action Time in, I have 2 uploads I need to put up there, but almost everything else is up to date. And the CLGFC save, Out of the Park, Action Time in, and now Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation is all going up there. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. Right, the 1-1 to Bill Kelly. Grounded to the backstop, it'll be 1-2. Here's the 1-2. That's inside, ball 2. The 2-2. That's below the knees, 3-2. And the 3-2 pitch. That's grounded to the backstop, it'll be 3-2 again. Here's the pitch. Lined right back up the middle, base hit. Bill Kelly is aboard with a single. That'll bring up third baseman Levy Mayerly. Here's the first pitch to Mayerly, and that's taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Called, strike 2, and it's 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Popped up. That is a base hit. And Mayerly's got a single. Back-to-back singles for Chicago. And that brings up Gat Stiers. He hit the 2-run home run in the last game. Here's Stiers. Here's the first pitch to Stiers. And that is off the plate away, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Oh, it's going to get by. Well, it might be. It's a pass ball. It was definitely low, but it's a pass ball, and Kelly goes to third. Mayerly gets second, and now there's 2 runners in scoring position, nobody out. Here's the 2-0. And that is lined into left. Is that going to stay fair? It just lands foul. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That is lined into center. It's playable. Center fielder makes the catch. Do they tag up? Yes, they do. And it's a sacrifice fly. Gat Stiers. It's a sack. RBI. F8. Coming in to score is Bill Kelly. Mayerly does not tag up, but Chicago has taken a lead in this game. That's going to bring up Mark King, the catcher. Here's the first pitch to King. Inside, ball 1. The 1-0 on the outside part of the plate for a strike. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's lined into left, and that goes foul. The 1-2 pitch. Off the plate away, 2-2. Here's the 2-2. That's inside, ball 3. The payoff pitch to Mark King. Grounded into the gap, in right, and it's a base hit. Mark King's got himself a single. Mayerly is held at third. And the inning will continue for now as first baseman Everett Mills comes up with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Here's the first pitch to Mills, and that's taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Grounded over to short. The throw 1 to second. That's in time, and the side is retired. One run on 3 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We go to the bottom first here in Philadelphia. Chicago's jumped out to a 1-0 lead. John Hatfield will be 2 up first for the Philadelphia Athletics, but we are going to take ourselves a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Welcome back. Bottom first. And Chicago's jumped out to a 1-0 lead. John Hatfield settles into the batter's box. Cherokee Fisher, the best pitcher in baseball right now, on the mound. Here's the first pitch to John Hatfield. And that's low, 1-0. Remember, last game, it was 10 up, 10 down to start. Oh, fuck. Hang on a minute. Sorry. You know how I said I stubbed my toe earlier? I thought I had chipped a nail, and then it just came loose in my sock randomly. So I was like, oh, there it is. Yeah, well, I did actually chip it, so I had to get it out of there. Right. Here's the 1-0 to Hatfield. That's below the knees, 2-0. Here's the 2-0. Inside, ball 3. 3-0, or 3-0 here. Here's the pitch. Taking all the way is Hatfield, and that's a called strike. It's 3-1. The 3-1 pitch. Called strike 2. That one was right down Broad Street, too, and it's 3-2 now. 3-2 pitch. He's popped it up into foul territory right next to third base. Third baseman's over there. He grabs it, and that will be the first out of the inning. That brings up Scott Hastings. Here's the first pitch to catcher Scott Hastings. He's grounded out to the backstop. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's below the knees. 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Grounded over to short. The throw is in time, and that's the second out of the inning. That'll bring up center fielder Tom York. Here's the first pitch to him. Inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That is lined into right, but it's playable. It hangs. Right fielder comes in. He makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go top second. It's a 1-0 ball game. Due up first for the Chicago White Stockings will be shortstop Charlie Hodes. Right, I'm out of people to shout out who haven't come here, so I'm going to start shouting out my favorite streamers. We'll do that. If you haven't given her a follow already, give her a follow. Mia Makes Music is a wonderful pianist. She is a musician on Twitch who does all sorts of stuff. She's doing an open mic stream tonight, but she usually does piano, IRL, lots of great stuff. Give her a follow if you haven't already. I had a conversation with her earlier today on her stream. Mia Makes Music is our sponsor for tonight's second inning. And Charlie Hodes will settle in. It took 30 pitches from Bobby Matthews to get out of the first inning. He threw 112 yesterday. Now he's been called on yet again. Here's the first pitch to Hodes, and that is in the dirt, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That is lined foul down the third base side. 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That is lined into left but foul, and it'll be 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Shot in center. Center fielder comes in for it very quickly, and he makes the grab. That'll be the first out. That'll bring up Bobby Matthews. No, I'm sorry. That'll bring up Sam Jackson. Here's the first pitch to Jackson. And that is, I don't know where that missed, but it is called a ball. 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Grounded to the backstop. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Grounded over to short. Oh, and it's an error on the shortstop, E6. And Dickie Pierce gets credited with the error. And Jackson's aboard with 1 out. That's going to bring up Cherokee Fisher. Here's the throw over to first, and the runner is back safely. Here's the pitch to Fisher, and he's grounded that towards that is in for a base hit, and Cherokee Fisher stays red hot. He's almost batting .500 on the season, Cherokee Fisher. He's got a hit in 11 straight games. What's that put him at? That's his pitching stat right there. I want his batting stat, man. Show me his batting stat. He is absolutely on fire. Jackson goes to second. Now it's first and second, 1 out. Back to the top of the order, it's George Betchel. He lined out to the pitcher last at bat. Here's the pitch. Check swing. They go to third. He didn't go, and it's called a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Called strike. It's 1-1. Throw over to third is not in time, and Sam Jackson steals third base. That's a big steal. 90 feet away now. Only one out. Here's the 1-1. Sorry, that's swung on and missed. That's 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's fouled off. The 1-2. That's lined into center. And that is over the head of the center fielder. That is runs for Chicago. And that is an RBI double for George Bechtel. Jackson scores. They're going to hold Cherokee Fisher at third. And it's 2-0 Chicago. That brings up Bill Kelly. He singled his last at bat. Here's the first pitch. And that is high, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That is right down the center of the plate for a called strike. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Grounded foul down the third base side. It'll be 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That is lined. Is that going to stay fair? It is. It's a fair ball, and it's going to be more runs for Chicago. It's an RBI single for Bill Kelly. Going to third is Bechtel. Coming in to score is Fisher. And this game is now 3-0. Arriba, arriba. Welcome back, Zegon Hayes. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Levy Mayerly due up next. He had a single his last at bat. Here's the pitch to Mayerly. And that's below the knees, 1-0. 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That is grounded over to second, and it's an error on the second baseman. Wow. Bechtel scores. Kelly gets the second. Mayerly is aboard on an E4. That is second baseman Dick Higham getting credited with the error. And Chicago's made this 4-0. That's going to bring up Gat Stiers. He had an RBI sac fly his last at bat. Here's the pitch to Stiers, and he grounds that to the backstop, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Below the knees, inside, ball 1. There's the 0-1, or the 1-1, sorry. Swung on and missed, that's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. That is lined into right, more runs, or I don't know about runs actually. I'll hold that though, I'm getting ahead of myself, but it is a single. Going to second is Mayerly. Holding at third is Kelly. And the bases are loaded with 1 out. Here comes Mark King. He singled his last at bat. First pitch to King. That's a called strike on the outside part of the plate. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Inside, ball 1. The 1-1 pitch. Grounded to the backstop, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Below the knees, 2-2. The even count pitch now. Strike 3. He struck him out looking. And that's the second out of the inning. That brings up Everett Mills. He grounded out on a fielder's choice his last at bat. First pitch to Mills. Inside, ball one. 1-0. Grounded to the backstop. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That is lined into left. That could be bases. It will be bases. It's runs. It's a single for Everett Mills, an RBI single. Coming in to score is Bill Kelly. Going to third is Levy Mayerly. Stiers is held at second. And we have batted around the order here in the second inning. Chicago has made this 5-0. That brings up Charlie Hodes. He flat out earlier in the inning. Here's the first pitch to Hodes. That's high, ball one. Here's the 1-0. Outside, ball two, and that's going to get by the catcher. That's a passed ball. Mayerly scores. Stiers gets third for free. Mills gets second for free. And it's 6-0 Chicago. Here's the 2-0. That's lined into right, base hit. And Stiers scores. Mills gets the third. And that's going to bring up Sam Jackson. Bobby Matthews is getting chewed up on the mound. Only 2 earned runs. But it's 7-0 Chicago. Here's the first pitch. That is a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Grounded over to short, on to second, and that is going to be finally the side retired. Wow. 6 runs on on 6 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We go to the bottom of the second, and Chicago has blown this wide open. It's 7-0. We are going to take ourselves a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. All right, welcome back. Bottom second in Philly. Athletics trailing by a score of 7-0. It'll be Ed Pinkham who's due up first. Here's the contrast, by the way. Pat! Thank you for the follow, Pat. Oh, my God. Lana! Thank you for the follow, Lana. Pat, I got to follow you back. Give me like 2 minutes to write you guys down in the book, and then I'll follow you back. If you don't know, you know how Grace does like that thing at the end of her stream where it rolls the credits and it like has everybody that was there? Yeah, I'm not smart enough to set that up yet. I'm also lazy, so I do it by hand. So give me a minute to write you guys down in the book, and then I will follow you back right away. But thank you for the follows. Appreciate it. Welcome in. The name is Benakage, and we play all sorts of games. We play sports games like out of the park baseball, football manager. We play games like some fun games like Pong Ya. That's like an anime style golf game. We also play the F1 game. That's another sports game we play. And then we play some other games like Action Time and Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation. Those are gacha games we play on this stream. We play some real-time strategy like Hearts of Iron. I'm sorry, not Hearts of Iron. Rise of Nations. Hearts of Iron we did play. I actually since uninstalled the game, but one of these days I'll get back to it. That's a grand strategy game. And we do a little bit of everything on here. It's kind of cool. Welcome in. It's great to have you both. I appreciate it. We are in 1871. The year 1871, yes. And it is the 19th of June in that year. Philadelphia just lost to Chicago in the previous game. That bumped them to, I believe, 7-4, was it? Or are they 7-5 now? They might be 7-5 now. They're 7-5 now. Chicago beat them. They are up to 7-3, and this is the second game of that series. It's a 2-game series. And yes, all the players on your screen are real-life baseball players who played back in 1871. These are all genuine, real-life players who played baseball. 1871 being the first year of professional baseball in the United States and in the world. Ed Pinkham is in the batter's box for Philadelphia to start the bottom second. Here's the first pitch to him, and that's grounded to the backstop. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. What up, Bernard? What's going on, Pat? How are you, man? Happy New Year, by the way. That one's fouled down the third base side. It'll be 0-2. Happy New Year to you both. 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. That's below the knees. It's 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's grounded foul down the third base side. We'll do it again. 1-2. Grounded to the backstop. We go again. That was the difference, by the way, is that I believe Cherokee Fisher had 11 pitches through the first inning. And Bobby Matthews has thrown 66 through the first 2. That is extremely high. Here's the 1-2. Off the plate away, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. That is lined into right, and that is going to stay fair. That's going to go all the way to the wall. And Ed Pinkham is going to go for 3. Can he get there in time to throw the third? Not in time. And Pinkham's got himself a lead-off triple. A big hit for Philadelphia as they try to climb back into this one. 7-0 down early. And it's a good start for them. They got the leadoff man aboard 90 feet away. Nobody out. That brings up Dickie Pierce, the shortstop. Here is the first pitch to Dickie Pierce. That's below the knees, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that is lined into right. It's a base hit, and Pierce has done it. He's brought him home with an RBI single. Scoring on the play is Ed Pinkham, and Philly's got one back. It's 7-1. That brings up Dick Hingham, the second baseman here. Runner on first, nobody out. Here's the first pitch. That is a called strike right down Broad Street, and it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's grounded back to the mound. They go to second for the leadoff runner. They got him. 1-4 on the putout. They get the leadoff runner. That's going to be a fielder's choice for Dick Hingham. It's Dickie Pierce that's thrown out at second. And that brings up Charlie Bierman, the first baseman. Here's the first pitch to him. That's check swing. He didn't go, and it's a ball. 1-0. The 1-0. High, ball 2. 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's grounded over to second. They go for the lead runner at second, and that's going to be another fielder's choice, this time 4-6. And Hingham is the man thrown out at second base. So Bierman is aboard on a fielder's choice. And that brings up right fielder Neely Phelps. First pitch to Phelps. Check swing, but it's in there for a called strike anyway. And it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Oh, it's off the plate away, and it gets by the catcher. It's a passed ball, and Bierman goes to second for free. One and one to count. Here's the pitch. And that's another, it might be a wild pitch this time. No, it's another passed ball. And it's going to be third base for free for Bierman. He's 90 feet away now. Here's the 2-1 to Phelps, and he has lined this at the shortstop. The throw over to first is in time, and that will retire the side. 1 run on 2 hits, and they leave 1 aboard. We go to the top of the third. It's 7-1 Chicago. Due up first for the Chicago White Stockings is pitcher Cherokee Fisher, who singled in his last at-bat. But first, new inning means it's time for a new sponsor. Pat is an awesome streamer who streams a whole variety of different games, including Hollow Knight Silk Song. Check him out if you haven't already. Really cool streamer. Big friends with people like Grace Tendo, Trishian, who is known as Mark, and Mr. Nuclear Monster. Real cool guy. Give him a follow if you haven't already. Pat is our sponsor for the third inning here tonight. Big to get a run off of that last half inning, but certainly more work needed, and it's needed on the defensive end, and it starts here because they batted around last time. 11 batters in the previous inning for Chicago. Philadelphia need to try, and Bobby Matthews specifically, lock that down. He has already thrown 66 through 2. Here is Cherokee Fisher, the opposing pitcher, on the mound. Well, already 1 for 1. He fouls that to the backstop, and the count is 0-1 to start. Last little bit of champagne is for y'all. Happy New Year. Here's to a fantastic. We're going to do a lot in 2026. Here's to a fantastic 2026. It's going to be awesome. Here's the 0-1. That is right at the knees for a called strike. 0-2. It looked low to me, but umpire's giving that a strike. Here's the 0-2. That is absolutely ripped into left field. And that is off the wall on a hop. This could be a triple. Instead, it's a double. And Cherokee Fisher has hit a single and a double so far in this game. Matthews has pitched 2 innings and given up 10 hits. That is going to bring up George Betchel, who had an RBI double. He's 1 for 2 so far today. Here's the first pitch. That's a inside, ball 1. The 1-0. Swung on and missed. That's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Lined into right. Right at the right fielder. He's there to make the grab. And that'll be Betchel is retired. Runner on second, 1 out. Bill Kelly will settle in. He's 2 for 2. Rain is beginning to fall. And we've had a bit of a delay here. But we're back out. Here's the first pitch to Bill Kelly, and that is a called strike. It's 0-1. The birthday present I really want is a win at the Emirates. Now, when is the birthday, Stuart? That's what you got to know. Because Zig said his is the 7th. Okay, mine is the 17th. So when is the birthday? Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. That's 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Inside. Ball 1. The birthday is on February the 4th. The match is on the 7th. Oh, nice. Here's the 1-2. That's taken inside, ball 2. Here's the 2-2. That is low, 3-2. Full count to Bill Kelly. He's grounded that back to the mound, over to second. They can't. He's safe. He beats the throw. Fisher goes to third. He's beaten the throw. It's an infield single. And it's runners on the corners with 1 out. That brings up Levy Mayerly. 1 for 2 so far today. My birthday present will probably be climbing out of relegation if we can do that. Here's the first pitch to Mayerly. That is off the plate inside, 1-0. Actually, I have no idea what my birthday present's going to be. Here's the 1-0. And that is, oh, what? That's a great stop. It's an infield single. Going to second is Bill Kelly. Coming home is Cherokee Fisher, and Levy Mayerly has an RBI single, and Chicago has made this 8-1. That brings up Gat Stiers. He is 1 for 1 today. Here's the first pitch. That's on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. It's 1-1. Here's the 0-1. That is popped up in the infield at the second baseman. He was there. He makes the grab, and that is going to be the out. Nobody goes anywhere. 2 on, 2 out. That brings up Mark King. He's 1 for 2. The first pitch. Check swing, but it's in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Found to the backstop. It is 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Check swing. They asked third base. The third base umpire says he didn't go. It's 1-2. Here's the 1-2. He's popped this up right at third base. And he makes the grab, and the side is retired. 1 run on 2 hits. They leave 2 aboard. We go to the bottom of the 3rd here, and Chicago have reestablished a 7-run lead. It's 8-1. Due up first for the Philadelphia Athletics is pitcher Bobby Matthews. We are going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Welcome back. Bottom 3rd here in Philadelphia. 11 more points and I'll be happy. What do you got now, 29? I take it you want 40 points. I take it that's the goal, right? Is that you're looking for 40 and you have 29? I'm looking for 40 and we have 13. Not great. Bobby Matthews settles into the batter's box. Here's the first pitch to him here to start the bottom 3rd. That's a called strike, and it's on 1. 1 pitch. That is right back up the middle. Base hit. And Matthews has a leadoff single. Right, that'll bring up John Hatfield in the top of the order. He popped out his first at bat. Here's the first pitch to him. Oh, it's raining again, and now the rain has stopped. Here's the first pitch to Hatfield. And that's a ball, 1-0. There's the 1-0. Swung on and missed. That's 0-1. The 1-1 is fouled to the backstop. That'll be 1-2. One-two pitch. Popped up. Shortstop's coming in for it. He's going to make the catch. That'll be the first out of the inning. One on, one out. Here's the first pitch to Scott Hastings, who grounded out his first at bat. That is high, ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's grounded over to third. That is an error on the third baseman. And Hastings is aboard on an E5. Going to second is Bobby Matthews. And third baseman Levy Mayerly gets credited with the error. First and second, one out here for Philadelphia. That brings up Tom York. He flied out his last at bat. Here's the first pitch, and that's a called strike at the lettering, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Inside, ball one. And it's 1-1. Here's the 1-1. That's inside, ball two. 2-1. 2-1 pitch is lined right. It's over the first baseman's head. Fair ball. And it's a single for Tom York. Being held at second is Hastings. Matthews is held at third. And the bases are loaded with one out. That'll bring up Ed Pinkham. Here's the first pitch to Pinkham. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That is lined foul down the third base side. The 1-1 pitch. That is lined into left field, but foul. Because Todd Bowley has absolutely no clue what he is doing. No clue what he's doing. I thought it was dumb too. He just won you the Club World Cup, for crying out loud, you know? Like, come on. Here's the first pitch, or the 0-2. That is outside, ball one. Here's the 1-2. High, ball two. The 2-2 is taken inside, ball three. A full count pitch is ripped into center, but playable. And making the catch is the center fielder. That is Bill Kelly. And nobody moves off the back of that. It just wasn't deep enough. And Pinkham, that's not a great out. You know, had he hit that deeper into center, Bobby Matthews could have tagged up, and you're looking at maybe second and third. I mean, first and second with an 8-2 score, or even first and third with an 8-2 score. I'd say that the Irons could make a major upgrade in manager. Not the Potter's bad, but Maresca's now that we have Nuno, Stuart. We have Nuno Espirito Santos is our manager. Potter was sacked over a month and a half ago. And yes, Potter is bad. Sorry, I thought you had Potter. We did. We started with him. He was sacked a month and a half ago. And honestly, we are playing a lot better under Nuno Espirito Santos, but we just don't have the person. Like, the players aren't good enough, man. Everyone's like, oh, why isn't Nuno getting the results? Because our strikers are Cullum Wilson and Fulkrug. Like, you know, who is our defenders? It's all academy products. And I have no problem playing academy products, but they're not going to win you games. You know what I mean? You got to play like one of them. We're playing like three of them. I mean, we genuinely said Mavropanos is the best rock in the back four. Like, Mavropanos, bro. Like, you know what I mean? They're just not, the quality's just not there. Here's Dickie Pierce. He's going to take this first one for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Grounded over to third. The throw on to second, and they get out of the jam. They get out of the jam. One run. No runs. I beg your pardon. No runs on two hits, and they left the bases loaded. We go top fourth here. It's 8-1 Chicago. Right. New inning means new sponsor. I don't see anybody in. I don't. Oh, you know what? You know who's lurking, by the way? Hey, Pikachu. Thank you. I needed a sponsor. We'll grab Pikachu. Pikachu is an awesome streamer. Happy New Year, Pikachu. Here he is playing Where Winds Meet. He's currently playing Art. Oh, what is this? No. He plays Where Winds Meet. He does gun building, coffee making, 7 Days to Die, Counter Strike. He builds keyboards on stream. Give him a follow if you haven't already. Super cool dude. Pikachu is our sponsor for tonight's fourth inning. "86 pitches to get through 3 innings for Bobby Matthews. He's back on the mound. It's Everett Mills who steps in to the batter's box. He's 1 for 1 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Mills. And that's outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That's below the knees, 2-0. "2-0 is rocketed in the left, right at the left fielder, though. He makes the grab. That's the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Charlie Hodes. Hodes is 1 for 2 with a single. Here's the first pitch to him. He's going to take a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That is lined into right. And right at the right fielder. And that is the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Sam Jackson. He's 0 for 2. First pitch to Jackson. He's grounded that to the backstop. It is 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Popped up. Shortstop coming in for it. He makes the grab, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom 4th. Chicago's got an 8-0 lead. We are going to take ourselves a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Welcome back. Bottom 4th here in Philadelphia. Athletics have given up 12 hits so far in this game. Only 4 for themselves. It's Dick Higham who digs in. I almost said it's Dig Higham who dicks in. That would have been, oh boy. No, it's Dick Higham who digs in here. He grounded out in the fielder's choice. His first at bat. Here's the first pitch to him, and he's going to take that for a called strike. That's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Lined into left center. That's a base hit. And Higham's got a leadoff single. That'll bring up Charlie Bierman. He grounded out to a fielder's choice his last at bat. First pitch is off the plate inside, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Check swing. They asked third. Umpire says he didn't go. It's called a ball, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. Off the plate away, 3-0 now for Bierman. Here's Bierman. He's going to take that right down Broad Street, 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Inside, ball 4. And Bierman has drawn a walk. Higham goes to second. That's going to bring up Neely Phelps. He grounded out his first at bat. Here's the first pitch to Neely Phelps. He takes out in the outside part of the plate. That's a called strike. 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Off the plate away, 1-1. The 1-1. Grounded right over to second. The throw is a bad one. It's an E4. Phelps is safe at first. Bierman is safe at second. Higham is safe at third. And second baseman Sam Jackson gets credited with an error. It's the second for Chicago in the game, and now the bases are loaded here with nobody out. This is a big opportunity for Philadelphia to get back in the game. It is Bobby Matthews up to the plate. He can give himself some help. He singled his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to Matthews. Inside, ball 1. The 1-0 is taken on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. It's 1-1. The 1-1. Grounded over to third. They go home. They get the runner at home. Over to first in time. And it's a 5-2-3 double play. Higham is thrown out, and so is Matthews. Bierman will go to third. Phelps will go to second. But that is about as worse a scenario as Philadelphia could have asked for. Because now there's runners on second and third, but 2 outs. John Hatfield will settle in. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Hatfield. And he has lined this into left. Does it stay fair? No, it lands foul. Here's the 0-1. Check swing, but he didn't go. It's called a ball, 1-1. The 1-1. He's lined this into left center. That is base hit. That is exactly what Philadelphia needed in the last at bat. It is going to be a bases clearing triple for John Hatfield. It's a 2 RBI triple, and Philadelphia gets 2 back. It's 8-3. I would say they're still in this game if they can find a way, if Scott Hastings, who sells in, can find a way to bring John Hatfield home. Even if this inning ends after that and it's 8-4, they're still in the game. Hastings is 0 for 2. We'll see if he can do it. Here's the first pitch to him. And he's popped it up. He's not going to. It's over to third. It's over at the first base side. And the catch is made, and the side is retired. 2 runs on 2 hits, and they leave 1 aboard. We go top 5th here in Philadelphia. Chicago has got an 8-3 lead. 2 up first for the Chicago White Stockings is pitcher Cherokee Fisher. He is 0 for 2. I'm sorry, he's 2 for 2 so far today. Let's give our next shout out. I'm going to do it because he was here earlier. He popped in and out. Here we go. Aldi is a fantastic Albanian football manager streamer playing Football Manager 2024. Give him a follow if you haven't already. Real cool guy to talk to. Aldi is our sponsor for tonight's 5th inning. It'll be Cherokee Fisher taking the mound. He has a single and a double. Here's the first pitch from Bobby Matthews. And he's popped this one up. It's drifting foul, but it's right at the third baseman. He makes the grab, and Matthews is retired. Here comes George Betchel, left fielder. 1 for 3 so far today. Here's the pitch. Betchel right back up the middle, base hit. And Betchel's got himself a single. That'll bring up Bill Kelly. He is 3 for 3 today. Here's the pitch. That is on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Chop foul. It'll be 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. 2 away now. Here is Levy Mayerly settling in. He's 2 for 3. Here's the first pitch. That is low for a ball. 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Inside, ball 2, and it's 2-0 now. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That's grounded to the backstop. It'll be 2-1. 2-1 pitch is lined into right, base hit. And Mayerly gets aboard. Betchel goes to second. First and second, 2 out. And that brings up Gat Stiers. Stiers is 1 for 3. I'm sorry, he's 1 for 2. Here's the first pitch. That is popped up. Drifting foul. That will land foul. 0-1 to count. Here's the 0-1. That is off the plate away, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Called strike 2 on the upper part of the plate. And Gat Stiers has got a 1-2 count. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Off the plate away, ball 2. 2-0 pitch. That is shot into right field. That is right at the right fielder. He makes the play, and the side is retired. No runs on 2 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We go bottom 5th here in Philadelphia. Chicago have an 8-3 lead. We are going to take ourselves a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Right. Cool. I'm on the wrong tab. Where am I going? All right, here we go. All right, cool. Sorry. I was checking to make sure nobody would, like anybody that went live or that went offline, I closed their tab. Right. It's bottom fifth here. Cherokee Fisher still on the mound for Chicago. He's done very well in this game. Only responsible for 1 earned run. 6 hits for Philadelphia. And Chicago leads this one by a score of 8-3. Tom York is the first man up for Philadelphia. He's 1 for 2. First pitch to York. He swung on and missed. That's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. And Tom York has put himself in a hole. It's 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. He's fouled that off to stay alive. 0-2. That is below the knees, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That is high, ball 2. 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And Tom York has fought this back to a full count. Here's the 3-2. And he's flied this into left. It's drifting foul. It lands foul, and we go again at 3-2. Here's the 3-2. He's fouled that off, and he stays alive. 9th pitch of the at-bat for Tom York. And he's popped it up right to the shortstop. He makes the grab, and York is retired. That's going to bring up Ed Pinkham, the third baseman. He is 1 for 2 today. First pitch to him. He's taking that right down Broad Street for a strike. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's fouled into the seats. 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's lined into left, and that's going to land foul. We'll go back at 0-2. Do it all over again. Here's Pinkham, the 0-2. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. 2 away now. That brings up Dickie Pierce, 1 for 2 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Pierce. He takes that off the plate away, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. That's wide away, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and he's popped it up. Second baseman coming in for it. He makes the grab, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. It's time for top 6 here in Philadelphia. Chicago have an 8-3 lead. Due up first for the Chicago White Stockings is catcher Mark King. He is 1 for 3 so far today. I don't have anybody else on the who's come in here for the shout out. So new inning, new shout out. Lulu is one of my favorite streamers I found at the end of 2024. She does a lot of yapping. She does a lot of just chatting, but she's played through a few cool games. She discovered the Near series in 2025. That was incredible. She discovered, she played Stellar Blade, which was really cool. That was really good, actually. Yeah, she fell in love with the Nier series. She played the Life is Strange series, all of it. She's going to start playing Chrono Trigger because she's already played Chrono Cross, I believe, or whatever the second one is. That might be Chrono Cross, actually, because she's played Chrono Trigger. So give her a follow if you like that kind of stuff. She is a fan. She's a big FF8 fan as well. Lulu Heartily will sponsor our 6th inning here today. That'll bring up, it'll be Mark King to lead things off. Bobby Matthews with the first pitch. That's below the knees, inside, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That is a called strike on the outside part of the plate. It's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Foul to the backstop. 1-2 now. The 1-2 pitch. High, 2-2 the count. And here we go with a 2-2 pitch. That is lined foul into the seats, and we'll do it again at 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Absolutely shot into center, but playable. And the center fielder just drifts over and he makes the catch. And Mark King is retired. That brings up Everett Mills. He is 1 for 3 so far today. Here's the first pitch. That is high, ball 1. The 1-0. Grounded over to second, or over to short. The deep throw from short, and that is in time. 2 away now. Really good. That was a hard throw to make. That was a deep throw from right on the edge of the outfield. That's going to bring up Charlie Hodes. He is 1 for 3 today. Here's the first pitch, and that's high, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Fanned at it and missed. It's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Off the plate away. 2-1. Here's the 2-1. That is high into left center field, way back there, and that is off the wall. It's a double for Charlie Hodes. Off the wall. And he's aboard with 2 outs. That brings up Sam Jackson. He is 0 for 3. Here's the first pitch to Jackson. And he has launched this into left center. Going back. Is it going to clear the wall? It's off the wall again. And back-to-back wall shots. This time it's going to be a triple for Jackson, who gets in safely. It's an RBI triple. And his Hodes will score on the triple. And Chicago has made it a 9-3 game. That'll bring up Cherokee Fisher. He is 2 for 3 so far today. First pitch to Fisher. That's high, ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Grounded right in front of home plate. The throw over to first is not in time. And it's an RBI single. Fisher gets his 3rd hit of the afternoon. Coming in to score is Sam Jackson. It's 10-3. That brings up George Bechtel. 2 for 4 so far today. Here's the first pitch. That is below the knees, 1-0. The throw over to second, and Cherokee Fisher's in there. He steals second base. Man is the best pitcher in baseball, and he's got 3 for 4 with an RBI. He literally can do it all. Here's the 1-0. That is off the plate away, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. That is grounded over to third. Throw over to first is in time, and that is going to retire the side. 2 runs on 3 hits, and they leave 1 aboard. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and Cleveland have a 10-3 lead. 2 up first for the Philadelphia Athletics. Second baseman Dick Higgham. But first, we're going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Welcome back. Bottom 6th here in Philadelphia. 10-2. 10-3, sorry, is the scoreline. Dick Higgham will be the next batter in for Philadelphia here to start this bottom 6. He's 1 for 2. Here's the first pitch to him. And he'll take a called strike. It's 0-1. Here is the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. That's 0-2. Here's the 0-2. He's popped it up. Foul territory right at third base, and that is going to be the first out of the inning. That'll bring in Charlie Bierman. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. First pitch to Bierman. Outside, ball 1. The 1-0. That's lined into right, base hit. And Bierman's aboard here with 1 out. Neely Phelps will settle in. He's 0 for 2. Here's the first pitch to Phelps. He takes that off the plate away, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Off the plate away, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. And that's grounded over to first. They'll throw to second. They get the lead runner. And it'll be a fielder's choice for Neely Phelps. FC 4-6. Oh, 3-6, sorry. FC 3-6. As Bierman is the man thrown out at second, and now there's 1 on, 2 out. Bobby Matthews settles in. He is 1 for 2 so far today. First pitch to Matthews. Inside, ball 1. The 1-0. Grounded over to first. And he's beat out the throw. I don't know why he just didn't hand it off to him or just step on the bag himself. But it goes down as an infield single. And Matthews has got his second hit of the afternoon, and it's first and second, 2 out. We go back to the top of the order. It's John Hatfield. He's 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Here's the first pitch to Hatfield. Swung on and missed. That's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. That's 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Check swing. They asked third base. The umpire says he didn't go. It's called a ball for being high. It's 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Inside, ball 2. The 2-2 pitch. He's grounded that over to second. The dive, it's a bad throw. It's an E4. An error on the second baseman. Matthews goes to second. Bierman gets to third. I'm sorry, not Bierman. Not Bierman. Not Bierman. It's Phelps that goes to third. And the E4 is the second baseman. That's Sam Jackson with his second of the night. That'll bring up Scott Hastings. Hastings 0 for 3 tonight. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Here's the first pitch to Hastings, and that is in the dirt, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Inside, 2-0. Here's the 2-0. He's grounded that over to short. The throw to second. It's a bad throw. And Matthews gets aboard. Matthews is safe. It's an E6. It's an E6 on the shortstop. Matthews goes to first. Going to second is John Hatfield. Going to third is Bobby Matthews. Coming in to score is Neely Phelps, and it's 10-4. That brings up Tom York. He's 1 for 3. Bases loaded, 2 outs. First pitch to York. That's high, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. And he's grounded this over to second. On to first, that's in time, and the side is retired. 1 run on 2 hits. And they leave the bases loaded. We go top 7th here in Philadelphia. Chicago have a 10-4 lead. Thanks for popping in. You are absolutely welcome, Kit. Welcome in. You're actually just in time to get a shout out. Let me do that because it's top of the inning. So I need a sponsor. So let's make you the sponsor. How was your stream? Oh Lord, how was your stream? Kit is a pretty awesome Football Manager streamer. Also did other games like Risk of Rain 2, Mario Party, Mario Kart. But is a well-loved member of the FM community. Give them a follow if you haven't already. Kit is our sponsor for tonight's 7th inning. It was pretty good, to be honest. One, if not my highest average. And I did 8 hours. Nice. Very nice. Congratulations. That's awesome to hear. Did you have a lot of fun? That's the main thing. Did you have a lot of fun? It'll be Bill Kelly settling in. Center fielder, he is 3 for 4 today. Matthews still on the mound. Here's the first pitch. Grounded to the backstop, 0-1. Yeah, it was frustratingly unlucky, battering teams but losing. But form picked up by the end. Nice. Yeah, that can be very frustrating. It's always the most frustrating one when you do that. Like when you're dominating games and you don't win. But I'm glad form picked up at the end. Where are you at in your save now? Here's the 0-1. I don't even know what club you're at in your save. I can't remember. I'm having a mental blank, but I'm pretty tired. Here's the one. That's inside ball 1. Just mid-September. Got you. Here's the 1-1. Grounded over to third. The throw on to first. That's in plenty of time, and that'll be the first out of the inning. I'm at South Shields. Ah, nice. Here is Levy Mayerly, who is 3 for 4 today. First pitch to Mayerly. Grounded in the gap. Another base hit for Levy Mayerly. 4 for 5 now today. As he takes first. And it's 1 on, 1 out. Where are you at in the table now with South Shields? Right fielder Gat Stiers steps in. He's 1 for 3. Here's the first pitch to Stiers. Throw over to first. Mayerly is back in time. Mid-table, predicted higher. Okay. Plenty of time, though, if you're mid-September. I mean, Jesus. Here's the pitch to Gat Stiers. Inside ball 1. To throw over to second. Not in time. And Mayerly steals second base. Big sneeze coming. Hold on. With Langley's help, I set up my first 5 back to help with defensive stability. Nice. Right, here's the 1-0 to Stiers. He's grounded that foul down the first base side. It'll be 1-1. Here is the 1-1 pitch. That is grounded over to first. Stepping on the bag himself will be Charlie Bierman. Mayerly does go to third, but now it's runner on third with 2 out. That'll bring up Martin King. King is 1 for 4 so far today. But did anyone see how Alabama got destroyed? No, I did not. I did not. Here's the first pitch to Mark King. That is lined into left and foul. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Grounded over to first. Stepping on the bag himself again is Charlie Bierman. And the side is retired. Run hit, no runs on 1 hit. They leave 1 aboard. We go bottom 7th. It's a 10-4 ball game. Indiana 38, Alabama 3. That is a butt whooping. That is an absolute butt whooping. Right. As is always tradition in the 7th inning stretch, or 7th inning, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. We're going to leave you with Harrison Scheckler and Take Me Out to the Ball Game. We'll be back in 2 minutes with the conclusion of this game. Well, you heard the man. Play ball. Bobby. Welcome in, Bobby. Well, welcome in. Happy New Year, Bobby. Happy New Year indeed, yeah. Right. Give me a second here. Um, ba, 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 ba. Let me close Vivaldi audio off this page. Thank you very much. Give me 1 second here. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. Let's. How are you, Bobby? I hope you're well. I'm just closing tabs here of streamers that have gone offline. So. And then I'm got to get back to my home page. There we go. All right. Right. Bottom seventh. Philadelphia trailing by a score of 10-4. Here we go. It'll be Ed Pinkham settling in. He is 1 for 3 today. First pitch to Pinkham. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Going to bed soon as well. Almost 3:30 a.m. almost. Oh man, that one's inside for a ball. It's 1-1. Yeah, I'm going to bed after this game. I know the timer says an hour 53, but the plan was always to just play 3 games today. I played 1 in the morning. I played 1, in around, like, I started at around 4:35, and now we got this is our 3rd game of the night. So we're gonna play 3 games and then we're gonna bounce. So and we're in bottom 7th. So I ain't got much longer to go either. But if you log off, man, have a fantastic night. Happy New Year to you again, and have a great start to the day tomorrow as well. Here's the 1-1. That's lined into the seats, 1-2. 1-2. That is a high, ball 2. The 2-2 pitch. That is high, ball 3. The full count pitch. Fouled into the seats again, 3-2. The 3-2 pitch. A shot into right field, right at the right fielder, though. He will make the play, and Pinkham is retired. That'll bring up shortstop Dickie Pierce, 1 for 3. Here's the first pitch to Dickie Pierce. Grounds that to the backstop, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That is inside, ball 1. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. That's 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Grounded to the backstop again. 1-2 it remains. The 1-2 pitch. That is outside. Ball 2. The 2-2 pitch. Absolutely ripped into left center field, way back there. And it's off the base of the wall, really. And that is going to be a triple for Dickie Pierce. And Philadelphia get a man 90 feet away with 1 out. That'll bring up Dig Hagum. He's 1 for 3. First pitch to Hagum. He takes a called strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. That's 0-2. Here's the 0-2. That is a dive. The throw over. It's a bad throw. It's an E5. And Dick Higgum is aboard on an error via the third baseman, and that's Levy Mayerly. That's his second of the night. And the fourth from Chicago. That will bring up Charlie Bierman. He is 1 for 2 so far today. Here's the 1-2. And that is a ball. It gets by the catcher. The throw home is not in time. It's a passed ball, and Dickie Pierce scores. Higgum goes to second, and Philly's got this to 10-5. I'll bring up that's the 1-0 pitch to Charlie Bierman. Here's the 1-0. Called strike. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed. That's 1-2. The 1-2. Lined into left. Foul. We'll do it again. Here's the 1-2. That's high, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Popped into center field, left center. Center fielder's going back on it, way back. It's over the wall. And Philly's got a 2-run blast. Hingham scores, Bierman scores, and Phillies pulled this back within 3. Good night, see you tomorrow. Good night, Zegon Hayes. Thank you for being here today, brother. See you tomorrow for some Football Manager. Pleasure. Awesome, man. Get a good night's sleep. Take care, brother. Right. Neely Phelps settles in. He's 0 for 3. Here's the first pitch. Called strike. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Grounded over to first. Stepping on the bag himself is Everett Mills, and that is going to be the second out of the inning. That brings up Bobby Matthews. He's 2 for 3. Oh, it's going to be a pinch hitter. Bobby Matthews is done. Holy moly, I can't write. It'll be Joe Quest who settles in to the batter's box. 3 for 5 for Joe Quest so far this season. Been exclusively a pinch hitter for Philadelphia. Here's the first pitch. He's 3 for 3 as a pinch hitter as well. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Taken inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-1. Grounded over to short. Can he beat out the throw? It's a bad throw. It's another E6. And Joe Cuesta's aboard. Another E6. That is the shortstop. Charlie Hodes. This is that's his first of the game. Now hold on, because they said there's 8 errors. So who made the other error? Mayerly, Hodes, Jackson. No. Mayerly. Oh, Jackson made 2. Oh, Hodes made 2. Sorry, yeah. I forgot to record an E6 earlier. That was last inning. I forgot to record the E6. My bad. My bad. All right, so 2-2-2. That'll bring up the top of the order. John Hatfield, 1 for 4 now. First pitch to Hatfield. Inside, ball 1. There might be hope in Philadelphia here. Here's the first pitch. Here's the 0-1 or the 1-0. Sorry, that's grounded in through the gap. And Hatfield has got himself a knock. Quest goes to second. Hatfield's on base, and now the tying run is at the plate. Scott Hastings, who is 0 for 4 today. Here is the first pitch. It's high and in, ball 1. The 1-0. Outside, ball 2. The 2-0. And he's lined that into the gap. It's going to be a base hit, and the bases are going to be loaded. The leading run is coming to the plate. The go-ahead run is at the plate now for Philadelphia in a game they have trailed all afternoon. And it is Tom York, who is 1 for 4. The first pitch to York. Inside, ball 1. The 1-0. And he's popped this up deep into left. Is it going to drift foul? It does. And it's 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Off the plate away, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. He's fouled that to the backstop, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled it to the backstop again. It stays 2-2. Here it is, the 2-2. And he shot that, and that is going to be an error. It's an E4. And he's aboard. Second baseman Sam Jackson makes his 3rd error of the afternoon. Going to second is Hastings. Going to third is Hatfield. Coming home is Quest. And it's a 10-8 ball game. The tying run is in scoring position, and the leadoff, the go-ahead run is on base. Not only that, but we've batted around the order here in the 8th for Philadelphia. That'll bring up Ed Pinkham. Here is the first pitch to Pinkham. And he takes a called strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That is popped up, drifting foul. It will land foul. It'll be 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. That is inside, ball 1. The 1-2. Grounded to the backstop. He stays alive. 1-2. 1-2 pitch again. Check swing. They ask third. He didn't go, and the home plate umpire calls it a ball. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. He's hit him. He's been hit by the pitch. And that means that York goes to second. Hastings goes to third. coming in to score is Hatfield, and now the tying run is 90 feet away, and the winning run is in scoring position. That's going to bring up Dickie Pierce. What can he do? He is 2 for 4 today, Dickie Pierce. Here's the first pitch to him. He's going to take a called strike right down Broad Street. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. 0-2. Here's the 0-2. He takes that high and in. Ball 1. The 1-2. He's lined this into right center. It's going to be a base hit. It's going to be off the wall. And Philadelphia, remarkably, is going to take it's going to be an infield fly. It's going to be I don't believe it. He's called safe at home. It's an inside the park grand slam home run from Dickie Pierce. It's 4 RBIs for Pierce on the grand salami. Pinkham comes home. York comes home. Hastings comes home. And all of a sudden, in a game that Philadelphia's trailed 8-0, or I should say 8-1, and 10-3 at one point, they lead it by a score of 13-10. Dick Higham will settle in. 1 for 4. A grand slam inside the park home run from Dickie Pierce. Can you believe it? Here's Higham. And Bill Barrett is going to pitch to him. He is going to take ball on the outside part of the plate. Or not part of the plate, but off the plate away. 1-0. That'll be Bill Barrett being the new pitcher. It means Cherokee Fisher goes 6 2/3 innings. Want to know to Higham. Here's the pitch. And he's lined that into the seats. It's going to be 1-1. God damn it. I put Barrett on the second line, and I forgot that all my tallies for Cherokee Fisher, because he threw over 120 pitches, are on the second line. So now I've had to cross him out and drop him to the third line. Okay. There we go. Fixed. Here's the 1-1 to Higham. Off the plate away, 2-1. Here's the 2-1. That's high. Ball 3. 3-1. Oh, and that is a walk. He's walked him on 5 pitches. And Dick Higham is aboard with a... Oh, I just circled home run again. My bad. Nope, that was a walk. He's aboard with a walk. And the inning continues. That'll bring up Charlie Bierman. He is 2 for 3. First pitch to Bierman. That's inside, ball 1. 1-0. Grounded foul down the third base side. It's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Off the plate away. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Inside, ball 3. 3-1 pitch now. Throw over to first. Runner is back safely. 3-1 pitch. Check swing, but it's in there for a called strike anyway. 3-2. The payoff pitch is another base on balls. Going to second is Dick Higham. And the inning is still alive for Philly. I'll bring up Neely Phelps. He is currently 0 for 4. First pitch. He's grounded that to the backstop. It'll be 0-1. Here's the 0-1. And that is a ball. 1-1. It's a wild pitch. So Higgum goes to third for free. Bierman gets to second. And Philly's got runners in scoring position again. Here's the 1-1. And he's popped that up. It's drifting foul. It's going to land foul. It'll be 1-2. The 1-2. Back up the middle, base hit. And it's more runs. Coming in to score is Dick Higgum. Going to third is Charlie Bierman. And now Joe Quest comes back up to the plate. And he fouls that off. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. On and away, 1-1. The 1-1. Down and away again, 2-1. The 2-1. Down and away again, 3-1. And it is a wild pitch. Coming in to score is Charlie Bierman. He's called safe. And Neely Phelps gets to second, and it is 15-10. We're not high, Nate. We're not playing action timing, and so we're playing out of the park baseball. So I will refund you those points. Thank you. But welcome in. Right. 3-1 to count. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. He's walked three straight batters. And Quest is aboard. First and second. 2 outs. All this with 2 outs, by the way. And that's going to go back to the top of the order. John Hatfield, who had a single. Here's the, he's 2 for 5. Here's the pitch. That is a ball, 1-0. Don't know where that missed, but it's 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That's off the plate away. And that gets by the catcher again. That's a pass ball this time. Going to second is Quest. Going to third is Neely Phelps. And now, again, Philadelphia have runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Here's the 2-0. And that is popped up, drifting foul, and that will land foul. It'll be 2-1. The 2-1. Inside, ball 3. Here's the 3-1 pitch. He's walked him. He's walked 4 consecutive batters. Well, not 4 consecutive, but he's walked 4 out of the last 5 batters. And now the bases are loaded again. For Scott Hastings. Hastings 1 for 5. Here's the first pitch for Barrett. And that's grounded up towards the shortstop. The throw on to first is in time, and the side is finally retired. An 11 spot from Philadelphia off the back of 6 hits. They left the bases loaded, but somehow, some way, Philadelphia has jumped out to a 15-10 lead in a game they have trailed the entire way. That'll bring up the top of the 8th. That is remarkable. A grand slam inside the park home run, helping to get it over the line as well. We still got an inning and a half minimum here. We go top 8th here. And it's 15-10. New inning means new sponsor. I don't. There's nobody new in the. We're gonna do Gray. We're gonna do Grace. Grace Tendo is an awesome chill streamer. Here she is. Well, this was part of the intermission. The part at the end makes that. Grace is hilarious. She's been playing through Lake. She's been playing through Dredge. She plays 2 Point Museum on Tuesday. She calls it 2 Point Tuesday. She did a playthrough last year of Okami. Give her a follow. Absolutely awesome community. Grace Tendo is our sponsor for tonight's 8th inning. Right, what a wild one here in Philadelphia. It'll be Everett Mills who's due up. There is going to be a pitching change because Quest came in for Bob Matthews in the 7th. Or Bobby Matthews in the 7th. So even Philadelphia is going to make a pitching change. It'll be Bob Ferguson on the mound now for Philly. And Everett Mills settles in. He's 1 for 4. First pitch. Grounded over to third. The throw one to first is way, way, way wild. Absolutely wild throw. And it is going to go down as an E5, and it's a 2-base error. Third baseman Ed Pinkham getting credited with the error. It's his first of the night. It's the third for Philadelphia. And Everett Mills gets the second base off the back of that with nobody out. That'll bring up Charlie Hodes. Hodes is currently 2 for 4 today. Here is the first pitch to Hodes. Where'd that miss? That must have been outside 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Grounded foul, 1-1. The 1-1. High and in, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. That is shot right back in center. Base hit. Everett Mills will get to third. And Hodes has got himself a knock, a single. And it's runners on the corners, nobody out. Philly can't surrender the lead now. 19 hits for Chicago, and they trail by 5. Here's Fred Waterman is stepping in. And here's his first at bat. And he's going to take that outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Outside, ball 2. The 2-0 pitch. Lined into right, foul. Here's the 2-1. He fouled that behind home plate. It's 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. He fouled that off, and it's still 2-2. 2-2. Inside, 3-2. 3-2 pitch. That's lined right back at the pitcher. The throw over to second. The runner's back. So runners on the corners, 1 out now. That brings up Bob Ferguson, the pitcher. No, Bob Ferguson is a pinch hitter. Bob Ferguson is the guy on the mound. I'm sorry. That brings up Bill Barrett, the pitcher. There's the first pitch to Barrett. He's going to take that for a called strike. It's 0-1. Throw over to first, and the runner's back safely. The 0-1 swung on and missed. That's 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. He's lined that right at the second baseman, who makes the grab. And that's 2 away now. That will bring up George Betchel. And the top of the order, he's 2 for 5. Here's the first pitch. That is a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Check swing. They asked first. He didn't go. And it's called a ball. Here's the 1-1. And he's lined this into right. Is it going to stay fair? No, it lands foul. Here's the 1-2. Grounded over to third, and it's another E5. Second E5 of the inning. Scoring on the error is Everett Mills. Going to second is Charlie Hodes, and it's now 15-11. That brings up Bill Kelly. He's 3 for 5 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Kelly, and that's off the plate away, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Called strike on the inside part of the plate. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Lined foul down the first base side. Here's the 1-2. That's lined through the gap, base hit. And Bill Kelly's got his 4th hit of the afternoon. Oh, it's an error on the outfielder as well. It's an 0-8, so the outfielder, the center fielder, Tom York, makes an error in handling the ball. That means that Kelly goes to second. It means that Betchel gets held at third. And scoring on the play is Hodes, and now it's 15-12. Tying run at the plate. And that is Levy Mayerly. Mayerly is 4 for 5 today. Here's the pitch. That is a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Inside, 2-0. The 2-0. Called strike, 2-1. The 2-1 is lined into left, foul. The 2-2 pitch. Outside 3-2, and the ball gets past the catcher. It's a pass ball. Coming in to score is George Betchel. Going to third is Bill Kelly, and it's 15-13. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That's lined into left, base hit, and Mayerly has got, that is, oh my word. That is an error on the outfielder. He gets a single. He goes to second. And then the left fielder, John Hatfield, gets credited with an error. Philly just making errors left, right, and center. They're up to 6 now. It means that Kelly will score. And it's 15-14. That brings up Gat Stiers. He is 1 for 4. Here's the pitch to Stiers. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. The tying run is on second. The go-ahead run's at the plate. Here's the 0-1. That's off the plate away. 1-1. There's the 1-1. That is off the plate. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Lined right at the second baseman. He gloves it, and the side is retired. 4 runs on 3 hits, and they leave 1 aboard. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and Philly has a 1-0 lead, or a 1-run lead. We are going to take ourselves a 90-second timeout. I think we've needed it after this. We'll be back in a minute and a half with the bottom of the 8th. Right, we're back. Bottom eighth in Philadelphia. It's 15-14. Due up first is Tom York. He is 1 for 5 so far today. Bill Barrett is still on the mound for Chicago. Here's the first pitch. He's lined that foul, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. And he's lined this in the left, and that is caught in foul territory. And York is retired. That'll bring up Ed Pinkham. Pinkham is 1 for 4 today. Here's the first pitch to Pinkham. And that's inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. And Pinkham fouls that off. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Inside, ball 2. The 2-1 pitch. Outside, ball 3. And the 3-2, or the 3-1. Inside, ball 4. And Pinkham has drawn a walk. That brings up Dickie Pierce. He is 3 for 5. He is a double away from hitting for the cycle. We have not had a major league hitter hit for the cycle yet. He is just a double away. Here's the first pitch to him. Inside, ball 1. That gets by the catcher. It's a wild pitch. And Pinkham takes second for free. Here's the 1-0. That's below the knees, 2-0. That gets by the catcher. It's another wild pitch, and Pinkham's on third. Here's the 2-0. And that is shot into right center, but it's playable. The center fielder comes in. He makes the catch. And it's a quick throw, so Pinkham can go nowhere. And that will probably end Pierce's hopes of hitting for the cycle. That brings up Dick Higgham. He's 1 for 4. First pitch to Higgham. That's inside, ball 1. The 1-0. Inside, ball 2. The 2-0. Outside, ball 3. And it gets by. It's a wild pitch. Safe at home is Tom York. And 3 wild pitches have brought him around. It's 16-14. Here is the 3-0. Right down Broad Street. 3-1 now. The 3-1 is popped up, and it's drifting foul, and it will land foul. It'll be a full count, 3-2. The payoff pitch. Foul to the backstop. We'll do it again. The full count pitch. Ball 4. And Higgham has drawn his second walk of the night. That brings up Charlie Bierman. Bierman is currently 2 for 3. Here's the first pitch to Bierman. He's fouled that into the seats. Here's the 0-1. Outside, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Low, 2-1. Here's the throw over to first, and the runner is back safely. Here's the 2-1. Inside, ball 3. The 3-1 called strike on the outside part of the plate, 3-2. The 3-2 pitch, and he's walked him as well. It's the third walk of the night for Charlie Bierman, and that brings up Neely Phelps. who is 1 for 5 tonight. First pitch to Phelps. And that gets by the catcher, 1-0. That's a pass ball. Going to third is Dick Higham. Going to second is Bierman. And now Philly's got runners in scoring position, 2 out. Here's the 1-0. That is high. That's going to get by the catcher. That looks like a wild pitch this time. And it is. And safe at home is Dick Higham. Taking up third is Charlie Bierman. It's 17-14. Here's the 2-0. That's fouled off. It's 2-1. The 2-1. Inside, 3-1. Here's the 3-1. High, ball 4. And Neely Phelps has drawn a walk. And that'll be runners on the corners. 2 outs. That brings up Bob Ferguson, the pitcher. Ferguson, only 3 at-bats this season. He's yet to record a hit. Here's the first pitch. And he has lined this in the left. That could be the base hit. It is. It's a good stop. It's a single. Bierman scores. Going to second is Phelps. And Ferguson's got himself an RBI single. It is now 18-14. John Hatfield, the left fielder, is coming up. He is currently 2 for 5. Here is Hatfield. He takes one in the dirt, and that goes by the catcher. That's going to be a wild pitch. Going to second is Ferguson. Going to third is Phelps. And again, it's 2 in scoring position with 2 out. This is an absolute collapse from Chicago in these last 2 innings. Here is the 1-0. That's low, 2-0. The 2-0. Inside, 3-0. The 3-0 pitch. Right down Broad Street, 3-1. The 3-1. And that's lined foul, 3-2. The 3-2. Ball 4. And John Hatfield will walk. And now the bases are loaded. Scott Hastings comes up. Hastings is 1 for 6. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Here's the first pitch to Hastings. That's taken for a called strike. It's on 1. The 0-1. Grounded over to first. He steps on the bag himself, and the side is retired. 3 runs on 1 hit. And they leave the bases loaded. We go to the top of the 9th. 18-14 is the score. Right, real big shout out to a great member of our community. Gomp is an awesome Pokemon streamer. He's doing a Nuzlocke challenge currently in Pokemon. He also streams FM, or at least he did with FM 24. Give him a follow if you haven't already. Gomp will be our sponsor for tonight's 9th inning. I want to take a snip of this box score. I really do. This is just insanity. Oh, you know what? Let me do it at the end. Right. 18-14. Mark King is due up first. He is 1 for 5 today. It is still Bob Ferguson on the mound. First pitch from Ferguson. That's a called strike. It's on 1. Here's the 0-1. Popped up in foul territory. And it's an error. No way. It's an error on E5. That's the third baseman, Ed Pinkham. That's his second. That goes down as Philadelphia's seventh error of the end. We've had 14 errors in this game, 7 aside, but he touched the ball in foul territory, so it will be a foul ball. It's 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Grounded foul. He stays alive. 0-2 again. Grounded over to third. The throw onto first is in time, and that is the first out of the inning. This has been a wild game, and Philadelphia's 2 outs away from somehow escaping with it. That brings up Everett Mills. Mills is 1 for 5. Here's the first pitch. That's off the plate away, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. All outside, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. Called strike on the outside part of the plate. He managed to backdoor that one, it looked like. It's 2-1. Here's the pitch. Grounded over to third. It's another E5. And Ed Pinkham's got his third error of the afternoon. It's the 15th error of this game. That'll bring up Charlie Hodes. Hodes is 3 for 5. Here's the pitch. That is a called strike on the outside part of the plate. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Off the plate away, 1-1. The even count pitch. Grounded foul. 1-2. The 1-2. That's low. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Popped it up. The shortstop's coming in for it. And he makes the grab, and there's 2 away now. That's going to bring up, we're going to have another pinch hitter, Ed Mincher. He comes in for Fred Waterman. Runner on first, 2 down. Here's the first pitch. He's grounded that to first. They step on the bag, and this ball game is over. No runs, no hits, 1 left on base to end. And I don't know how. I don't know what we just witnessed, but it was absolutely just what an absolute just brawl, like literally a brawl. The final score in this one, Chicago White Stockings 14, the Philadelphia Athletics 18. That is an insane, that is probably one of the craziest games of baseball you're going to see on this channel all season. That was an absolute insane just mauling between from both those teams. Let's somehow try to do batter statistics now. We'll start with the visiting Chicago White Stockings. Right. So George Betchel, 6 at-bats, 2 hits, okay? 1 was a double. He had 2 runs. He had an RBI, okay? Bill Kelly, he had 6 at-bats. He had 4 hits. They were all singles. He scored 3 runs. He had 1 RBI. He struck out once. Levy Mayerly, 6 at-bats. They were all singles. He had 5 hits. He had 1 RBI. He had 1 run. He had 1 stolen base. He made 2 fielding errors. Gat Stiers, He had 5 at-bats. He had 1 hit. He scored 1 run. He had 1 RBI. It was a sac fly. Mart King. He had 6 at-bats. He got 1 hit. He struck out once. That's like the easiest line of all these guys. Everett Mills. He had 6 at-bats. He got 1 hit. He had 1 RBI. He scored 1 run. Charlie Hose. He had 6 at-bats. He had 3 hits. 1 was a double. He had an RBI. He scored 1 run. He had made 2 fielding errors. Sam Jackson. He had 4 at-bats. He had 1 hit. It was a triple. He had an RBI. He scored a run. He stole a base. And he had 3 fielding errors. Cherokee Fisher. He had 4 at-bats. He had 3 hits. 1 was a double. He had an RBI. He scored 2 runs. He stole a base. Fred Waterman had 1 at-bat. He did not get a hit. Bill Bird had 1 at-bat. He did not get a hit. And Ed Mincher had 1 at-bat. He did not get a hit. So total hits, total at-bats for the Chicago White Stockings: 6, 12, 18, 23, 29, 35, 41, 45, 49, 50, 51, 52 at-bats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hold on. Oh, Sam Jackson had 2 runs, not 1 run. He had 2 runs. Sorry. And Charlie Hose had 2 runs as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 14 runs. Hits. 1, 2, 2 is 6, and 5 is 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21, yep. Of those hits, 1, 2, 3 doubles, 1 triple, and no base on balls, 7 fielding errors, okay, 2 strikeouts, 3 stolen bases, 1 sack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 RBIs. We'll come back for the pitching stats in a moment. For Philadelphia, John Hatfield, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 at-bats, 2 hits, 1 of which was a triple, 2 RBIs. He scored 1 run. He drew 2 base on balls. Scott Hastings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 run. Tom York, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 fielding error. Hatfield had a fielding error as well. Ed Pinkham. Oh, I missed a fielding error in there again. God damn it. Who did I miss the fielding error on? Errors. Hatfield had 2. That's who I missed. I missed Hatfield's last error in the last inning, I think it was. I don't know. Something. I missed an error by Hatfield. But anyway, I got it. Okay, so Hatfield had 2. And then York had 1. Right. Ed Pinkham, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He had 5 at-bats because he got hit by the pitch once. No, 4 at-bats. Sorry, 4 at-bats for Ed Pinkham. 1 hit, 1 strikeout. He scored 3 runs. He had 1 base on balls. He made 3 fielding errors. 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Dickie Pierce, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at-bats. He had 3 hits, One was a triple. One was a home run. He had 5 RBIs. He scored 2 runs himself. He made a fielding error. Dick Higham, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. He had 4 at bats. He had 1 hit. He had 2 base on balls. He scored 3 runs. Charlie Bierman, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. He only had 3 at bats. He had 2 hits. One was also a home run. He drew 3 base on balls. He scored 3 runs. He had 2 RBIs. Neely Phelps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at bats. He had 1 hit. It was an RBI. He scored 1 run, and he drew a base on balls. Billy Matthews had 3 at bats. He had 2 hits. Joe Quest had 1 at bat. He did not have a hit. He recorded a base on balls. He scored a run. And Bob Ferguson had 1 at bat. He got a hit in that, and it was an RBI. Okay, so total at bats for the Philadelphia Athletics: 5, 7. That's 12, 18, 22, 28, 32, 35, 40, 45. I have 45 at bats. Runs: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm missing runs. Who did I miss runs for? I got 3 recorded for Bierman. I got 3 recorded for Higham. I got 2 recorded for Pierce. I got 3 recorded for Pinkham. I've got 1 recorded for York, 1 recorded for Hastings, and 1 recorded. So who had runs? Hatfield had 1. Hastings had 1. That's correct. York I have as having 1. That's correct. Pinkham I have as having 3. That's correct. Pierce I have as having 2. Higham, that's correct. Higham I have as having 3. That's correct. Bierman I have as having. Bierman had 4. When? I forgot the RBI when he came home. When he came home in the 4th. That's what I forgot. So Phelps is missing a run as well, I think. Phelps has probably got 2. Yeah, I forgot to record both of them in the right, yeah, because Higham tried to go home and they threw him out. So I forgot those runs. So Bierman's gonna have Bierman's gonna have 4 runs, and Phelps has 2 runs. So that's what I forgot. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I'm missing 1. I'm missing. Quest had 1. Phelps had 2. Bobby Matthews? No. Wait. Unless my math is wrong. 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 11, 15, 17, 18. My math is wrong. 18 runs. Okay. Hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 I have. That's correct. Doubles. Were there not any doubles? Was it all triples? Nobody had a double. There were no doubles. Triples, 2. Home runs, 2. Base on balls, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 walks they drew. Wow. And that's not counting the hit by the pitch. Strikeouts, 1. Stolen bases. I don't think they stole any base. No stolen bases. Sacrifice flies. I don't have any there. RBIs now. 1, 2, 7, 9, 10, 11 RBIs. Fielding errors, 8. Right, pitching statistics. I'm going to need a monster help for this. Cherokee Fisher went 6 and 2/3. He is still credited with the loss. I have his pitch count as 151. Walks. He gave 3 walks. He struck out 1. He gave up 13 hits. He gave up 13 runs. Only 3 of them were earned. Which means Bill Barrett went 1 1/3. I have his pitch count at 63, though, for that. That was very high. Yep. He gave up, 9 walks? 9 walks. He did not strike out any batter. He gave up 2 hits. He gave up 5 runs, and 3 of them were earned. And then Bobby Matthews went 7 innings, I think, right? Yeah, 7. He gets the win. 7 innings for Bobby Matthews. His pitch count I have is 135. Yep. He issued no walks. He struck out 2. He gave up 18 hits and 10 runs, 5 of which were earned. That's a lot. And then Bob Ferguson came in. He pitched 2 innings. I have his pitch count of 47. No walks, no strikeouts, 3 hits, 4 runs. Not a single one of it was earned. What an absolutely fucking crazy game. What an absolute. That is actually crazy. This might be the craziest I've ever seen out of the park, so. Or at least this is the craziest we've done this year. Right, so first thing we're going to do is leave the game, and then we're going to save the game. So Philly gets one back on Chicago, who absolutely threw it away. I mean, there's nothing else to say. They threw that away. They were 10, at one point? 10, oh my God, hold on. They were up 10-3 after the top of the 6th, and they threw it away. Just save the game again for good measure. I mean, Jesus. We're going to advance one day. Right. If there is anybody still here, and they are interested, we're going to do a little poll. This is for Sunday's stream. All right? You get to pick what game you want to see. Washington at Troy, Cleveland at Philly. The poll is up for 10 minutes. I kind of want to see Washington versus Troy, in all honesty, because I might just say, fuck it, we do Washington versus Troy, because I just did 3 straight games with Philly in it. I don't want to do a 4th. You know, I might snatch that away. Thanks, Everler, could doing some stuff. You're welcome. But I might do Washington versus Troy anyway, because I've done 3, we just did 2 back-to-back games with Philly in it. And the game before that had Philly in it, and then we did and then we did Washington at Rockford. So I might betray chat and just pick one anyway. But right, the game is up. Right, or the vote is up. But let's look at the standings. So standings after tonight's game: Boston 9-2. They lead the American League by 2 games over the Philadelphia Athletics, who are 8-5. Cleveland is 6-5. They are 3 games back. Washington is 6-8. They are 4.5 games back. In the National League, Chicago now 7-4 are only a game and a half ahead of the Fort Wayne Kekiungas, who are 6-6. New York Mutuals are 2.5 games back at 4-6, and then it's Rockford, who are 3 games back at 7-10. The Troy Haymakers are 4-11. So if they lose versus Washington in that game, Troy's season might be well and truly dusted. It would mean they would have 16 games to play and be 5.5 back. That's going to be pretty tough. That's going to be pretty tough to overturn. If you are on the recording, you're not going to get the result of the poll. I'm going to end the recording here. Thank you so much for watching. Find out what the next game is, right? A little bit of suspense for you, but we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much, and take care.